They said she was broken, too weak to have children, too useless to be Luna. So her alpha husband sent her to the volcanic wastelands, certain she wouldn't survive. But what he didn't know? She was carrying triplets, and she didn't perish in the flames. She befriended a dragon. 5 years later, she returns, not as the broken Luna he discarded, but as a queen riding on dragon back with 3 children who command kingdoms. This is Mira's story. Act 1. The betrayal, the healing chamber. Cold marble, the smell of burning sage. Luna Mira sits on the examination table, her hands trembling. 26 years old. 3 years married to Alpha Kale. 3 years of hoping. 3 years of disappointment. Healer Dorian won't look at her. He grinds herbs with his back turned. "Just tell me," Mira whispers. "The waiting is harder than knowing." He finally turns. His eyes won't meet hers. "The tests show your body cannot support a pregnancy. Even if conception occurred, which appears impossible, it would not be viable." He uses her name instead of her title, the first sign of lost respect. "You cannot bear children, Mira. You will never carry the Alpha's heir." The words echo. "Cannot bear children." "No," Mira's voice breaks. "Test again. My wolf. She knows something is different." Slam. The door flies open. Alpha Kyle fills the doorway, 6'5", commanding presence, cold eyes. Behind him, Sarah, Mira's younger sister. Golden hair, red dress, confident smile. "Kyle," Mira reaches for him. The healer is mistaken. "I can feel." He steps back, won't take her hand. "I heard everything," he says flatly. "Is the diagnosis final, healer?" "Yes, Alpha. The result is definitive." "A Luna exists to continue the bloodline," Kale says coldly. "I am the strongest Alpha in generations. My legacy must continue." He looks at her with disappointment. "And you cannot fulfill that purpose." Sarah steps forward, places her hand on Kyle's arm. "Don't be sad, sister," she says sweetly. "This isn't your fault." Then Sarah takes Kyle's hand and places it on her own stomach. Kyle's expression changes, softens. "Tell her," he says. Sarah's smile widens. "I'm expecting, sister. Kyle's child." The silence is crushing. "Expecting," Mira whispers. "But you're not his maid. You—" "I secured the future of our pack," Kyle interrupts. "I knew months ago this wasn't working. Sarah is of your bloodline, strong, capable. She accomplished in weeks what 3 years couldn't achieve." "Weeks." "While I cared for your dying mother," Mira's voice trembles, "you were with my sister." "The pack needs an heir." Kale's tone is final. He turns to the healer. "Prepare the announcement. We make it public tonight." "Announce what?" Mira asks. Kale looks back, not with anger, with indifference. "The transition. Tonight I correct this mistake. Wear the white ceremonial dress. I want you to look dignified when you step down." Sarah leans close. "I was always the favorite," she whispers. "Now everyone will know." Act 2. The ceremony. The Great Hall, 500 pack members, celebration in the air. Mira descends the grand staircase in her white ceremonial dress, head high, shoulders back, refusing to show weakness. The crowd whispers, "Poor thing, couldn't give him an heir." Sarah looks radiant, though. Kyle stands, addresses the assembly. "For 3 years I have waited patiently, but it has become clear this bond cannot produce the heir our pack requires." He looks down at Mira. "Mira of House Thorn, this union has not fulfilled its purpose." Then he speaks the formal words. "I, Alpha Kale Stormborn, sever our bond. You are no longer my mate." The magical connection breaks. Mira gasps, pressing her hand to her chest. The severing of a mate bond is painful, like losing part of your soul. She drops to her knees. "I remove your title as Luna. I release you from this pack." Sarah steps forward and removes the silver crown from Mira's head. Mine now, she whispers. Kale addresses the pack. Your new Luna, Sarah, who carries my heir. The pack cheers. Luna Sarah! Luna Sarah! Mira kneels on the cold stone, the sound of their celebration echoing around her. But through the pain, she feels something. 3 tiny heartbeats in her womb, racing, afraid. Escort her to the border, Kale orders. The southern border. The room falls silent. The southern border means the volcanic wastelands, an uninhabitable zone of ash and heat. That's exile to certain hardship, Mira whispers. Kyle turns away. If you're as strong as you claim, you'll find a way. As guards lead her away, Mira makes a silent vow. I will survive, and I will return stronger than they can imagine. Act 3. The wastelands, black volcanic glass, steam rising from cracks, oppressive heat. Mira's feet burn on the hot rocks. Her white dress tears and darkens with ash. No water, no shelter, no apparent hope. She stumbles and falls. The heat is overwhelming. This is where it ends. But then, thump, 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 thump. 3 heartbeats, stronger than before. Warmth blooms in her core, spreads through her body like healing light. The burning pain fades. Her exhaustion lifts. Mira's eyes widen. Her stomach glows softly. Golden light pulsing through the fabric. You, she whispers in wonder. You're helping me. The babies aren't just surviving. They're sharing their strength with her. I'm not alone, she realizes, standing up. We're a family of 4. Through the heat shimmer, she sees tall, black pillars. A structure, an ancient temple. Hold on, little ones. We're almost there. Hours later, she reaches it. Not just any temple. A dragon sanctuary. Obsidian walls polished like mirrors. Magnificent carved statues. In the center, a pool of crystal clear water, miraculously cool. Mira drinks gratefully. Who enters my sanctuary? The voice resonates in her mind. The ground trembles. A shadow covers the courtyard. Mira looks up and sees a dragon, magnificent black scales, enormous wings, ancient and powerful. It lands gracefully, lowering its head to study her. Eyes like molten gold, intelligent, curious. A wolf in my sanctuary. Have you come seeking refuge? Mira finds her courage, but beneath her fear, the golden light in her womb grows warmer. Her children aren't afraid. They're interested. The dragon senses it, pulls back slightly. You smell unusual. Of wolf, yes, but also of storm. 3 distinct life forces within one being. Mira stands, hand protective over her stomach. I'm not a thief. I'm an exile. My pack rejected me. Rejected us. The dragon studies her, then makes a sound, warm breath that envelops her like a gentle embrace. Foolish wolves. They cast away something extraordinary. The dragon's form begins to shimmer, transforms. Within moments, a tall man. 7 feet, elegant bearing. Silver hair, eyes of liquid gold. Robes of midnight blue materialize around him. I am Draven, he says with a slight bow. Last guardian of the ancient skies. And you, young wolf, are far from home. I have no home, Mira says quietly. Draven looks at her worn dress, the protective way she holds herself. He smiles kindly. Then perhaps you shall have this one. These halls have been empty for too long, and I believe those little ones of yours will need proper shelter soon. He extends a hand. Come, let me help you. Act 4. The birth 7 months pass in the dragon's sanctuary. Mira grows strong. Draven teaches her ancient wisdom, shares stories of old magic. Then the night comes. A storm rages outside. Lightning illuminates the temple. Mira lies in the healing chamber. The birth is beginning. Magic fills the air. Objects gently float. Draven, she calls. Something extraordinary is happening. Trust yourself, his voice is. Calm, reassuring. You are stronger than you know. Thunder rolls across the sky. The first child arrives. A boy. He doesn't cry. He makes a sound like a young wolf greeting the moon. Draven wraps him in soft cloth. Riker, Mira whispers. Minutes later, the second. Warmth fills the room. The baby radiates gentle heat. Ember, Draven announces with wonder. He carries inner fire. Then, peaceful silence. The floating objects settle gently. Calm washes over everything. The third child enters the world without sound, opens her eyes immediately. Pure gold, like sunlight made solid. Nova, Mira breathes, tears of joy streaming down her face. Draven steps back, awe on his ancient face. The triad is born. 3 souls bonded as one. The world shall know their strength. Mira holds her 3 children close. Kyle wanted 1 heir, she whispers. The goddess gave me 3 miracles. Act 5, the return. 5 years later. The Great Hall. A grand assembly. Kyle claims authority over all packs. He sits on an ornate throne. Beside him, Sarah, looking tired despite her jewels. At their feet, Jace, 5 years old, fragile, often unwell. Tonight, Kale announces, all packs will acknowledge my authority. And if we choose not to, an alpha calls out. Kale's smile is cold. Then you make yourself my opposition. The doors are guarded. The message is clear. I am unstoppable, Kale laughs. Nothing can challenge. The torches flicker. Boom, distant thunder. Boom, closer. The floor trembles. What is that sound? Sarah whispers. It's rhythmic, someone observes, like massive wings. Crash. The ceiling dome shatters in a shower of colored glass. Through the opening, a shadow that blocks the moon. Roar, ancient, powerful, magnificent. Draven descends in full dragon form. He lands in the center of the hall, with controlled grace. Dragon! Voices cry out. Kale retreats behind his throne. Then, the dragon lowers his wing, creates a ramp. She steps into the light. Mira, elegant armor of midnight blue, cloak of white silk, confident, regal, transformed. She walks down the wing with perfect grace. Beside her, 3 children in matching formal attire. Riker, Ember, Nova. They walk with quiet confidence. The crowd parts, mesmerized. Mira stops before the throne. Hello, Kale. Kale stares in disbelief. Mira. You, the wastelands. No one survives. I didn't just survive. Mira's voice carries through the hall. I flourished. Sarah stands trembling. This is impossible. I am quite real, sister, Mira says calmly, as are my children. Kale's eyes lock on the 3 children. Riker's posture mirrors his own. Ember radiates warmth. Nova's golden eyes shine with wisdom. Who? Kale steps forward. Who are they? Mira gestures to her children. Introduce yourselves. Riker steps forward with dignity. I am Riker, first of the triad. I am Ember, second of the triad. Nova smiles gently. And I am Nova. She gestures to the throne. That seat rightfully belongs to our family. Triplets, Kyle whispers. You were carrying... Yes, Mira confirms. But you were too focused elsewhere to notice. Kyle looks at the children, strong, healthy, remarkable. Then at Jace, struggling with every breath. They are magnificent, he breathes. Come to me. I am your... Draven shifts to human form. Steps between them. They already have a father figure, Draven says quietly. The one who was there for every moment. Kale reaches toward Riker anyway. Nova's eyes flash gold. She speaks one word. Peace. The word resonates through the hall like a bell. It carries the weight of ancient authority. Every wolf in the room feels it, a compulsion toward calm, toward stillness. They lower their heads respectfully, including Kale. Only Mira, Draven, and the boys remain unaffected. How? Kale asks in wonder. That voice of command hasn't been heard in centuries, Mira finishes. My children carry gifts from the old magic. They are what you claimed was impossible. Epilogue. Justice. Mira calls forward healer Dorian. Tell everyone the truth about my diagnosis 5 years ago. The healer trembles. Sarah paid me to falsify the results. The tests were never actually conclusive. The assembly gasps. Sarah backs against the wall. And Jace's condition? Mira asks. Sarah used forbidden potions to ensure pregnancy. They affected the child. Kale turns to Sarah, understanding dawning. You knew what those would do. Mira raises her hand. Your judgment is not required here, Kale. You believed her schemes without question. You sent me away without investigating. She addresses the assembly. Sarah will be sent to the wastelands, as I was. Let her experience what she condemned me to. Guards escort Sarah away. And you. Mira looks at Kyle. You lost your right to authority when you chose pride over truth. From this day, you are released from leadership. You may stay in the pack, but never again in command. She turns to Jace, who watches with wide eyes. Mira kneels beside him. None of this is your fault, little one. You're welcome to stay with us, with your siblings. She picks him up gently. Mira walks to the throne, sits with quiet dignity. Draven stands at her right, the children at her feet. The assembly bows, not from fear, from respect. The old ways are finished, Mira announces. Welcome to a new era of wisdom and strength. Sunrise fills the hall with golden light. Mira closes her eyes, takes a peaceful breath. She isn't broken anymore. She's whole. She's complete. She's risen. This is Mira's story. From rejection to redemption, from weakness to wisdom. Your past doesn't define your future. Your choices do. What did you think of this story? Was justice served? And who's your favorite, Riker, Ember, or Nova? Share your thoughts in the comments. Hit like and subscribe for more inspiring stories of courage and transformation. See you in the next story.